JJ Watt, you own my heart. Seriously, we could be best friends. They'll probably make a Hangover 4 and it'll be me, you, and Chan when we're trying to find Marcus Golden somewhere in Las Vegas.
We are live. Welcome to the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing. Joining me today, I've got two tremendous co-hosts, and we've got a very special guest. Why don't you all introduce yourselves?
Hey, my name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at jsandiego with my overreactions and joking tweets.
Yo, what up? My name is Mac. You can find me on Twitter at AZSportsFiend. And then for our guest that we have today, you might know him by his viral interview, or you might know him by JJ Watt's best friend. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, this is Jordan. I don't know if you call me the Hangover 4 guy or not. You can find me on Twitter, McManus642, or you could just go on the Cardinals Twitter page and find me there, or JJ Watt's page for that matter.
On our page now.
Mr. Nine Mr. 9-0 is in the building.
Yeah, I don't even know what people call me, honestly. I'm rolling with the vibe.
So you said that, they're 9-0 when they're in the building, when you're in the building.
Yeah.
Have they given you season tickets like they've asked? I know they gave you like a fan package. Did they actually reach out to give you that?
They did not.
They
you know
want
what?
to lose.
I don't know if it's all that. Man, honestly, I think of it like this. Basically, I didn't expect that, like, at all. Like, I saw it on the news that night, and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny, my wife and I jumping around, like, oh, wow, and, and then the next morning, dude, I'm driving, okay? It's like 9 a.m., and I'm driving, and I'm doing a left-hand turn. Don't do this at home, kids, but I got a buzz on my phone in the middle of my left-hand turn, and I saw Arizona Cardinals messaged you, and I was like, what? And I opened my phone. In the middle of the turn. I haven't completed the turn at all by this point.
No.
There's some dead bodies in the road.
I was like, hold on. So I halfway finished the turn. I'm in a lane. I'm in two lanes, really, if I'm being honest. But anyways, I get over in the lane. I open the message, and I start reading it. And I'm on the phone with my wife as this is happening. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they just messaged me. Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, what? And like, I read it to her. And you guys got to understand. Like, you saw the interview, obviously. My voice was gone. So what sounded normal right now was more like Seinfeld, like, oh my god, like, and I read the message to her, and she's like, what the heck? And it basically said, hey, we saw your message, or we saw your video on channel 12. They're gonna be sending us the video soon. Keep an eye out. Also, can we send you a care package? And I was like, yeah, like. Like,
Right.
where do I send my address? Like, and seriously, I couldn't respond fast enough.
Hey, as a fellow big head,
yeah.
were any of their hats? Did any of their hats end up fitting you?
So, that gray one. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys saw the unboxing.
Too.
Yeah, that gray one, unfortunately, was like a size or two too small. So that unfortunately doesn't fit me at all.
That'd be a good Christmas gift to somebody.
Yeah, no, I'm letting my son wear it. I mean, that's the thing. This dude's not even 3 yet, and that hat fits him better than it fits me. So.
I feel your pain, man.
But no, to finish the thing, they sent me the package, and that package was awesome. Like, those footballs are not cheap. That's a game field football.
Oh, did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that is literally NFL 100 football from the 100th year anniversary. Obviously, I don't think they make those anymore. So that was awesome. The stuff they sent me, like, usually, big companies send just random stuff. They sent me a kitchen mitt, so they clearly did some digging. I cook, like, I just, and like I said on there before, they sent that Crucial Cat shirt, and my mom had cancer and she's beating it, and I don't tell many people about that, but that was awesome. That was my favorite thing. So,
Awesome, man.
Oh, yeah.
obviously, I would love a jersey or tickets, but to answer your question, even though I took 20 years to answer it, no, I have not gotten tickets yet. But my best friend has season tickets, and I will be at the Houston game. So,
Oh, we
there we go.
will
So
too.
will we.
Whoa, hello, all of us will
Yeah.
be there.
Well, hey, I would love to see you guys. I really hope I can meet everyone that has said such nice things to me, honestly. It's been a wild ride, so.
It'll be my first Cardinals game at that field in 14 years.
Wow.
Wow, no way.
Yeah, I the last time I saw the Cardinals was when I was 6 years old. I
That's
Wow.
cute.
and funnily enough, it was against the Texans. So
No way.
yeah, being a Cardinals fan on the East Coast is the worst because like every game's like just before it gets dark. I haven't witnessed the Cardinals win in person in 14 years.
Oh gosh.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I'll be there, so.
Maybe maybe your juju will catch my juju.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, no, for real. But no, that'd be awesome. I'd love to see you guys.
Yeah,
But,
we'll do it.
But yeah, so we should probably get talking to the game.
Yeah.
This was a
The Byron Murphy game.
I mean, you called it in that last episode, man. You came
Yes,
out.
you did.
You came out and you predicted it. 2 interceptions by Byron Murphy. What does he do? He gets 2 interceptions, takes one back to the house. I mean,
Yeah, I wasn't even. If I would have called the pick six, I'd be, on my hands and knees right now. Like, but yeah, that was kind of what we talked about. It was Trevor Lawrence trying to get the ball out quick, but that first one he was getting hit by. He couldn't step up into the throw, but J.J. Watt was bull rushing the center or the guard back. And on that second one, the flea flicker, J.J. Watt just absolutely destroyed. So definitely an assist to J.J. for both those INTs, but Byron Murphy looking like a legit cornerback one, CB1. It's going to be on full force this week against Cooper Kupp, who leads the NFL in reception yards, touchdowns, and is tied for catches with Devontae Adams. So it's going to be a big one.
I mean, J.J. Watt hasn't quite had the box office appearance. Hey, let me finish.
Hey, now.
He has his stats don't quite look great, but I mean he's kind of like Chris Paul. He's got that invisible playmaker thing going on, man. He's
yeah. Tread lightly.
okay. Well,
I know that you called me, so we'll be nice.
Okay.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know how it is meeting Jordan at the
you're
Texans
kinda uninvited
game.
now.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
trying to. What I'm trying to say is like J.J. Watt is making a big difference on the field, whether it's showing up in the stat sheet or not. He's doing great this year. I love
There
him.
you go. There you go. You redeemed yourself.
Well, that's where I was going anyway. I was trying to say he's like, all right, whatever.
He's always got to add that pessimistic flow to it, even though he's not trying to, be pessimistic. Yeah, because to be straight up, there were Cardinal fans, or at least one in particular, who was questioning J.J. Watt's worth on Sunday. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Is that a fan or just some kid running a stupid page?
I think it's like a page, like a podcast page, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it just popped up last year, from what I can gather. But yeah, I know it kind of blew up a little bit, had a bunch of likes. But I mean, J.J. Watt right now is in pass rush win rate. He's right up there with the best defensive tackles in the league, and he's not getting those sacks. But I mean, when you have a game that Chandler Jones had week 1. Offenses are going to game plan to get the ball out of their hands quick of the quarterback, So J.J. Watt, and you're rushing from the D tackle position. It's not like you're getting a free reign on the quarterback, but he's definitely making his presence felt, I believe. And in the run game, from what I've been seeing, they're not running right at him very often. I know on that James Robinson, what do you have, 8 carries for that one possession, 70 yards. I counted 2 plays where they ran at J.J. Watt's way. One of them, he had the tackle in the backfield, and J.J. Watt would tell you he needs to make that tackle in the backfield. but the other one he kind of got blocked by Rashard Lawrence when I look back at it. But it seems like more times than not they're going away from JJ in the rush game, so he's making a difference from what I can tell for sure.
Let me say something, if you don't mind. Because clearly this is my topic to hop on. Let me tell you something, man. Honestly, you got a point with the whole Chris Paul thing. I mean, I think we can all agree that no one is expecting a 20-sack season out of J.J. Watt, other than myself. But, no, in all seriousness, man, I mean, you got to think about it. That first game, right, in Tennessee, they went with that duo off the edge, JJ and Chandler. And then you kind of saw, like, halfway through the game, JJ kind of went in the middle more towards the nose. I almost feel because maybe Corey Peters maybe wasn't ready yet. So they wanted to have that big body in the middle. So what do? They start doing that from now on. And they have JJ and Chandler lined up side by side, coming off that right side, JJ in the middle, Chandler off the edge. Like, and then Marcus is on the other side, like sweeping up whatever's left. So it's like, yeah, maybe JJ's not getting the sacks right now, but that man stops the run. Like, to your point, when they run at him, it doesn't work. Like, so my point is, do you want to pay somebody $15.5 million a year to stop the run, not be a sack master? Maybe most people will tell you no. But if you stop the run that consistently and you're still a huge threat and you're still top 10 in pass rushing in the league, I think you're getting your money's worth right there. That's what I gotta say.
And we're gonna need that for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I mean Matt Stafford's been throwing bombs left and right. I mean, granted he hasn't quite had to face the competition we have yet, but I mean, getting that pressure in on Matt Stafford this upcoming week will be a very, very big key to the game, in my opinion.
No doubt. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Matt Stafford isn't exactly, when we play him, he's not. Yeah, he's not exactly. When we play him, he's not exactly, the best quarterback in the league. So, he got lucky the past couple times, with a 1-0-1 record the past 2 times. But you look at that every other time before then, and they were not close games. So,
yeah. It's really funny that we've barely talked about the Jags game. But there are 2 very big things that the Cardinals need to do in this upcoming week to prevent the Rams from winning. I think the one is obviously keeping Stafford in check, trying to get as much pressure in on him as possible. And the second thing is, and this is the big one, going into the halftime with a lead. Because the LA Rams, as it stands right now, are 40-0 under McVay with the lead at halftime. 40-0. So I mean,
40-1.
I'm praying for it. So I mean, that means we can't do anything like kick a 68-yard field goal that may or may not be run back to the house. That's not supposed to mean anything.
Hey, on that play, did you see Max Williams getting held though? He would have had that tackle. He had 2 guys on both sides holding both his shoulder pads.
He shouldn't have been out there in the first place. You should have
Did we not say last week that we thought Prater would have made that one from 70 though?
I don't know about 70.
If he had like
he would made for at least 65 though, and that was what
67 to be realistic.
Yeah, he had some yardage under that. He could have made it.
If he had
not 70, but yeah.
If he had an extra yard of breathing room, I'd say that probably goes in. But the fact, he just now we're talking about it as if it's a big blunder.
You know what? That kick. First of all, I was hyped for that kick. I know you guys might not have, but I was excited.
Yeah,
but let me tell you something. For everyone out there doubting that call and the kick, you got to understand, Jacksonville, scratch that, Florida is notorious for its terrible air conditions and weather. The fact that Matt Prater stepped up and was like, "Don't worry, boys, I got this.
Hold my beer."
Seriously, like, hold my beer, I got it. And he barely missed it. Like, That
Yeah.
man, the cojones on that man, he could have made that if that was I'm telling you right now,
If that was at home,
it wouldn't even be a question. It would be in the upper deck because he kicked it so good. So
Yeah.
I give Matt Prater credit. I hope I see another one soon.
I hope so. It would be very funny if he had made it, and it's like a few hours later, Justin Tucker's up to kick. He thinks this is the record.
Yeah.
He comes out of the, and they're like, "What do you think of Matt Prater kicking a 68-yarder?" He's like, "Shit."
I was so thinking about that, man. Right? That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that kick by Tucker. I was like, he's so lucky that Matt Prater missed it.
And I mean
dang,
that just limped in that Tucker kick. I mean,
it hit the pole.
it hit the crossbar.
Bro,
Yeah.
who's out here liking my tweets as we're doing this?
Bro, I believe that you were driving while you read your tweet from the Cardinals.
No. One of you guys just liked my tweet right now while we're in the middle of this show.
Oh, it was
Bobby.
Bo Bobbles.
Creepy.
It was probably Bo Bobbles.
Oh, Bobby.
You weirdo.
This guy.
Bo Bubbles.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just saw my phone and I was like, bro, who the heck is doing this right now?
I mean, that's out of the way. I think I still think it's dumb. Of course, I mean, I'm saying this with the benefit of hindsight. If it had been made as like Cliff Kingsbury's a genius, I never should have doubted him. Cardinals all the way, baby. And it's like, but that's not what happened. So
Yeah, we overreact and we move on. I had people coming at me like hours after the game. I'm like, you realize this is just like a raw reaction after he missed it.
yeah,
And it wouldn't be that bad if he missed it. And it's the fact that they ran it back for like a touchdown. It's like, oh shit, this is embarrassing because that's what everybody's going to talk about.
Oh yeah, I mean just over halftime, it was trending on Twitter. It was this and that. People were saying Cliff Kingsbury's really dumb, and it's like, yeah, I think a lot of people had that reaction after that.
Let's thank Byron Murphy for changing the subject in that second half.
Thank God for Byron Murphy. I have it written in my notes. This was after the second interception. I said, Byron Murphy, you beautiful, beautiful man. He had himself a day. He didn't he get named Player of the Week this week?
Yes, sir.
Sure did.
Third Cardinal in 3 weeks.
I mean, there was a time period where we didn't even have that in like 2 years, if I remember right. I mean, the fact that we've already had that 3 times in a row, I mean, that's insane. But yeah, I mean, the kick was a really weird idea. I do think that we got out to a slow start, but I mean, that could just entirely be because we were on the East Coast. The Cardinals are never really come out swinging on the East Coast. The Tennessee game is the only example I can think of.
You don't make me pull out my thesaurus right now, okay?
You got receipts?
Do I? Okay. Here I go.
Okay.
Let's go.
New York Giants, bro. It's like
Oh,
when they walk in, they automatically hand Chase Edmonds his touchdowns when he gets to the security gate. So you can't know. Does that what? That's the only receipt I need to give. Okay. That happened twice. Bro.
All right.
Get him. And Tennessee, bro. That was this year.
Honestly, Jacksonville came out stronger than what I anticipated.
Yeah.
I thought they actually looked pretty good. They got some pretty good young players on that defense, specifically.
It is just a damn shame that they've got Urban Meyer as their coach, because I think that with any other coach, they wouldn't be playoff contenders, but we'd at least be talking about them with some positivity. They'd be like a semi-entertaining, like 6-10 team, like the Chargers used to be.
I don't think it's bad that it's Urban Meyer as their coach. I think it's bad that he's their coach this year. Because typically what you do when you're rebuilding of this magnitude is you hire some guy that has enough hype to make people proud, I guess, to buy some tickets. Maybe there's a little smidge of hope in there, like, oh yeah, we're going to rebuild. Then they suck, you fire them, and then you go get Urban Meyer to come in and claim all the glory. Cough, cough, Cliff Kingsbury, Steve Wilkes. But yeah, that's what you do.
Or hire a guy like Bieniemy who gets people to come there in the free agency to get invested in the team that may or may not be complete and utter crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Urban Meyer thing, it just makes less and less sense every day.
I don't think he's gonna survive the season.
I mean, I've said it several times on this podcast. I think he's going to go the way of Bobby Petrino.
I think he's gonna pull Avonte Davis at some point.
Retire in the middle of the game.
Yep, and like halfway through the season. I mean, even when he was denying the USC rumors, it's USC, right? Yeah, it was USC. When he was denying the USC rumor, he couldn't even like. He looks so depressed, and he's in Florida. They have beaches there.
And
like,
alligators.
And hey now.
What was his quote last week? He said being in the NFL is like playing against Bama every week. Well, you just lost to Bama 31-19, buddy.
Yep. He just called Cliff Kingsbury Nick Saban.
This is a really dumb tangent. How is it that USC is as bad as it is? I mean, it feels like the easiest sell in the world. You're in Hollywood. Whether you're a coach or a player, you're automatically at least somebody in that town. I mean, Matt Leinart had Ashton Kutcher come into his games. I mean, are you going to tell me that a 5-star recruit wouldn't be halfway interested if LeBron James was in the stadium? I mean, I would be. I don't know. It feels like such an easy sell, and I think it really
hire guys like Clay Helton, and let Coach O walk away and win a national title in LSU. You deserve what you get. So, as an ASU guy, I'm happy to see it, but.
I'm happy to see it. It's just it just feels so easy, and it is so funny to see them fail. Jeez, because you can't tell me that somebody would rather go to Alabama over USC for any reason other than they're good.
I don't know. I heard Ohio's beautiful this time of year.
It's turkey season, I believe.
I would go to Ohio State over USC, but then again, I spent a lot of time in Akron growing up, so maybe I'm a little biased. I don't know.
We're a Sun Devils cast, so go Sun Devils.
I am a Sun Devils fan. I almost went to U of A for college. Almost.
What made you come to your senses?
I decided to put my education on hold due to the fact that I worked in a hospital during the worst times in our country's history.
Oh, wow.
And it made me wake up and go, you know what, maybe I don't want to be a nurse. And thus led me to chasing dreams of opening a food truck, which will be open in spring of this coming year.
Hell yeah, man, get that bag.
Yeah, thank you, yeah. It sucks because when all this went viral, I had people like, hey, where's your food truck? And I'm like, ah, dang it. Give me a few months, guys.
Let us know when you do, and we'll give a shout out on the pod.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Hey, maybe I'll just pull up to the Cardinal Stadium.
Ooh.
Do it.
All right.
For a game.
Damn, I wish I lived in Arizona.
Yeah,
what? You don't live in Arizona?
I'm in Virginia.
I'm the only one who does.
Moved here.
She just moved to Nova. I've lived in the South for the better part of 14 years.
In the
What
South.
is going on?
I know. I was an Arizona native for 27 years and came out to Virginia, and I miss the food in Arizona. I'm trying out. I'm currently pregnant, so they're like, "Oh, you should probably wait till after you have the kid."
How about AJ Green getting his first 100-yard receiving game since 2018?
He had himself a day. I chose the exact wrong person in fantasy. I started Rondale Moore.
God damn it, Will.
Hey, that was the smart choice. That was the smart choice.
Yeah, that was a trending choice. Yeah.
You never ride a hot rookie's hand, okay? You get lucky when you start them one game, and if they have an amazing game, you bench them the next game. They never follow it up. Everyone knows this. It's either they're really good one game and suck the next, or they're really good for 2 games and then suck the next. It's one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like there's very rarely a time where a rookie is dominant for a whole season, and I do think that means it is a real treat when that we do see that. I mean, there's only a handful of Cardinals I can think of who actually did that. Anquan did that. His first year.
Why'd you have to say his name?
Speaking of which, let's talk talk Hall of Fame. He is on the Hall of Fame ballot for the first time. Ballots have just been released. Do you guys think Anquan Boldin is a first ballot Hall of Famer?
No.
You
I'm being honest.
Tell.
Are you sure? I don't mind letting you guys go first. I just wanted to throw it out there so you know what to expect when you circle back.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is. I think his time in Baltimore put him over the top. I mean, he's currently top 10 in most catches in NFL history. And you have that playoff run that he had with Baltimore. He was the best player on the field for both teams for all 3 or all 4 games. But his 1,776 catches put him in between Terrell Owens and Reggie Wayne. So I might be a little bit biased because that was his first career game when he was with the Cardinals, and shattering records as a rookie. He's definitely one of my top favorite players of all time. So maybe I'm a little biased, but in my book, I would have him in definitely.
I think it's really murky. I think that he is a very solid choice to be in it, but just looking at who else is available and who else has not made it in yet, I mean, it's a very, very tricky sell. Like Reggie Wayne is an all-timer. He hasn't made it in yet. Chad Johnson hasn't made it in. Andre Johnson's in for his first year. I mean, this is a very tough year. I mean, and that's
none
just
of those guys have more catches than Anquan Boldin.
True, but I mean, they're bigger names, and they've got
the bigger name rings. Yeah, the bigger name could go a long way.
Yeah.
You know what? If I may say my piece, is he a Hall of Famer? No question about it. Is he a first ballot? That's the real question. Like you were saying, he's going up against such great receivers. Not that he's not one himself. Like you said, top 10, statistically. But you got to think about it. He's going up against Wes Welker, who literally is the greatest slot receiver who's ever touched the grass. Okay? Reggie Wayne, who formed top 3, top 5 best receiving trio ever. Okay? Steve Smith, ice up, son. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like Ocho Cinco, 3 things certain in life: death, taxes, and 85 is always going to be open. Devin Hester broke prime time's record. I mean, and you can't put those people I just said alone all in at the same time because there's other people that need to get in too. So that's the only problem. I think realistically, if he doesn't get in right now, it's probably going to take like 2 or 3 years. And that's just me being honest. I love Anquan. He was my first favorite receiver ever. I loved him more than Fitz when he was on the Cardinals, but I don't see it. I don't see him getting in right now, honestly.
I mean, nobody has named anyone who has more catches than Anquan so far. He played a couple less seasons than Steve Smith. He's got 50 more catches than him. He might not be the bigger name of the guy, but my whole thing with Hall of Fames is I don't really look at like are you a first ballot or not. Like, are you a Hall of Famer? And like, if you're a Hall of Famer, you should get in first try. That's just kind of like my whole thing. And I mean, when you have 8 guys ahead of you in league history with more catching or more receptions than you, then I think that you should be right up there. I mean, I'd rather have Anquan Boldin than Wes Welker. Anquan didn't play with Tom Brady for all those years. He has more catches than Reggie Wayne. Anquan didn't play with Peyton Manning for all those years. So I mean, I think there's something to be said for what he did for the Cardinals. Even though I mean those first couple of years he was with Jeff Blake, guys like that. So I mean that's my whole thing is like if you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer. So, but I totally get like the points that you guys are coming from, and it's really close. But I mean, a year like this year when there's so many wide receivers on there, yeah, I mean somebody's gonna be left out. So I could definitely.
It's gonna be a popularity contest this year.
Yeah, and Anquan isn't always the most popular, but yeah.
And I think the real question is, do you think A-Dub's gonna get in this year? That's the real question.
Probably not.
No.
Playing for the Cardinals, but he should. He's when you put up as many sacks, interceptions like he did as a, at his position, you're one of the greatest of all time. Like, you should be a Hall of Famer. But
He is in my heart.
Cardinals need to do what's right and get Anquan into the Ring of Honor, though. I mean, that's something that needs to be done.
Yeah,
Beef needs to be squashed.
Yeah, I mean, he said he's over it. I kind of get it. Like going from being the guy to being overshadowed by a top 3 wide receiver in NFL history. I mean, that'll make anybody frustrated. I totally get where he's coming from. It is kind of weird that that it has Hester classified as a wide receiver first and foremost on this ballot. That is very funny.
That is weird.
If that's the classification they go for, then no.
I mean, what are you gonna? I mean, he played wide receiver. He did pretty good in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, but I mean they've also got a special teams category though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Every time I think of Devin Hester, I think of that Chicago Bears Monday Night Football game.
Oh gosh.
5 beers deep now, and I just need to drink my sorrows away. So I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Well, good news is we can go back to talking about a thing that'll make us all happy, which is the beatdown of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Kyler Murray plays like a man possessed. He is absolutely insane. What do you guys think of his performance over this game?
That was the best 0 touchdown performance I've ever seen in my life.
Amen.
Passing. Sorry, I should clarify. That was the best passing game in which a quarterback didn't throw a touchdown I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think he completed, 6 of 7 passes that were over 15 yards. The guy's absurd right now, attacking the 15 to 25 yard range. He's 18 for 25 on pass attempts this year, 15 yards or more. That's 72%. He's averaging like 76 on the year. He's almost hitting his average on passes that are over 15 yards. So I mean, what can you say about the guy that hasn't already been said? He's only rushed the ball 17 times. 9 of those are for either a touchdown or first down. And most completions of at least 30 plus yards this season. Kyler Murray has 8, which leads the NFL. Carr, Wilson, Stafford all have 7. Except for those interceptions, which, coincidentally enough, every first drive out of halftime, he's thrown an interception. So I think that's something that will be corrected. Sooner or later, the ship will be righted. But that's just kind of like an anomaly, I believe.
If I'm not mistaken, the Tennessee game, first drive from halftime, he throws a pick. Minnesota game, first drive from halftime, pick 6. And then the Jacksonville game. So something's going. I don't know if he's that guy where JJ Watt's like, "Come on, man," and Kyler's just like, "Yeah," and like it's too much for his body to like handle, and so he goes out and just yeet,
He wants to do it all. Yeah, he wants.
He's like, "I'm doing it for you, JJ." Like, I don't know. Maybe he's just too hype.
Yeah,
he's eating too much candy on the sideline.
Yeah, those Sour Patch Kids kick in.
That should be corrected, though. I think that's not going to happen all season. You know what I mean? Like the way he starts games and everything, and even this week, even though we had a couple, 3 and outs, he's not making dumb throws. Like his bad pass percentage is one of the best in the league. So it's those, just a couple of those where he's trying to test his arm maybe too much, where he gets beat. But I mean, you'll take that when he's, 2 of the 3 games he's throwing over 80% completion percentage, so you'll take that more times than not.
He's thrown 15 of 22 on passes of 15 yards or more. I mean, he's playing insane. He's playing great. I mean, my gripes with him are minor. I think he has some slight judgment issues, but I think overall, I mean, aside from
getting out of bounds on that. Yeah. When we had to bring out Matt Prater on that long field goal, you get out of bounds on that little run down the sideline, you save maybe another play. Just like, small stuff like that, which is, nitpicky, but at the end of the day, you're a franchise quarterback, so I think it's fair. I mean, he's lighting the world on fire, though, so you got to take the good with the little bit of bad that comes.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Aside from maybe Patrick Mahomes, there is no other young quarterback I'd like to have more as a franchise guy than Kyler Murray.
Definitely, he's just got it all.
Facts.
I mean, I think, there's some there are some boring people out there who don't like these dual threat quarterbacks, who don't like what they bring to the table. To which I say, why do you hate fun? But I mean, I think players like Kyler Murray are the future of the NFL. I think we're going to see. It's like when NBA shooters started shooting 3-pointers more. You know?
I don't know. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Future of the NFL as far as style of quarterback, sure, I'll give you credit for that.
Yeah.
Success, though, here's
True.
the problem, and let me prove you my theory. All right.
Okay.
In order for you to have success being that type of quarterback, you have to be able to actually throw and sit in the pocket. When Russell Wilson came out, he was running nonstop. Like, he had a great arm, but everyone was like, dude, that dude can run. This dude was, I think his rookie year, he played against Buffalo, and he ran it in for like 2 or 3 touchdowns. Like, but, the next year after, it was like, okay, he started passing more, and he can still run to this day. But, I mean, at the end of the day, if Russell Wilson sprains his MCL or something, God forbid that happens, if that really happens, FBI had nothing to do with that. Saying that dude can sit back there in the pocket comfortable and just throw some dimes. Now, Lamar Jackson, yeah, I mean, you're talking about a wildly inconsistent dude as far as throwing the football goes. Like, as much as everyone tries to buy onto the hype, like, oh, yeah, whatever, he can play quarterback. I'm not denying he can't play quarterback. He can play quarterback. But as, like, a pure passer, oh, my gosh, does he need to work on that. Like,
he needs to work on it. But also, I mean, let's be frank here. Baltimore needs a receiver bad. I mean,
yes, they need a big body.
Hollywood was dropping balls left and right last week.
Yes.
3 touchdowns, yeah. 3 touchdowns.
Hindsight 2020. I'm kind of glad we didn't get him.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
Like, you can run all day. They're just gonna shut you down like they did Kaepernick.
You need to be able to have that dual threat where you can.
You have to
throw.
throw.
And that was our biggest thing.
Dual threat.
That's what our biggest thing last year at the end of the pod, or at the end of the season, we were talking on the podcast, and even coming into this year, is that I was expecting or hoping that Kyler's rushing numbers would go down and his passing would increase. One, because you need to stay on the field to be successful. And without Kyler Murray, this team is not a Super Bowl, contender. With Kyler Murray, I don't think there's a team in the league where I don't think that we can not beat, So that's one thing. He's not rushing as much as what he was his first 2 years. Only 17 attempts through 3 weeks, and entering this year, we were 0-7-1 when he rushed for less than 20 yards. This year so far, or 20 yards or less, this year so far, we're 2-0 in those such games. But with this game coming up against the Rams, my bold prediction, I don't know how bold it's going to be or whatnot, but I think that Kyler rushes for more yards Sunday than he did in all 3 previous games combined.
But at the same time, he needs to be smart because defenses
got to get out of bounds. Yep, you got to get down. Yep,
get out of bounds. If you but the main thing is defenses set up their edge rushers. That when we played New England last year, Belichick sat down and said, "Look, no one's gonna sack Murray. Okay, you're not gonna get a sack this week. You're gonna sit there. You're gonna set the edge. Yep. You're not gonna rush. And that shut Murray down because golly. Sorry.
You good?
You good?
Dude, I think I just got a paper cut. The freaking Cardinals box is right next to me, and I'm flailing my arms around, and it scrapes against the cardboard on the box.
Wow.
You should sue them.
Michael Bidwell, what have you done?
No, I completely
agree. Why would Cliff do that to you?
I completely agree, though. Like, Bill Belichick is, he's the greatest coach of all time for a reason. And not all coaches kind of adapt as well as he does. But just looking at the Rams in general, they're an active defense, which they're going to try to keep Kyler in front of them. And they've done a good job of that this year, keeping opponents' receivers and But even the quarterbacks that they faced, they haven't been rushing quarterbacks. They've actually, gained some yards on them. They've given up about 75 yards on the ground this year to quarterbacks, and they face like Tom Brady. So I think there is going to be some room there because I don't think we'll be able to run very well. Here are some of the stats for our rushing. So for the Rams rushing D, they're giving up 92 rushing yards. We're at 110. The 92 rushing yards ranks number 1 or no, it's 11 in the league. They're a physical front 7 for running backs, Chase and James Conner. I think James Conner would get a similar run to last week because that's a physical group. You're not going to run Chase Edmonds through the tackles, but we're going to need to be able to get that tough yardage.
Comes in.
Yeah. About what?
I would love to agree with you, but let's just face facts. We are more likely 9 times out of 10 not going to get our running game going. But that doesn't mean that we can't use it to set up the passing game, in which I think Chase is going to have a really good receiving game because we're not going to be able to run the ball. If we're being honest, quite frankly, I don't think we're going to run the ball that well.
I don't think so either. That's why I'm saying Kyler is going to get those rushing. He's going to get that.
Yes. That get those short passes off.
He's going to improvise.
I thought you said Connor. My bad. I thought you said Connor.
Well, no. I think Connor we still need him as that goal line back. You know what I mean? Like last week, he did good in goal line situations. He's not going to break off any 50-yard runs or anything. But I do think I do agree with you that Chase is going to be pretty active out of the backfield. Setting up the pass game. Basically, short pass. Maybe.
Just for the love of God, don't run 2 screens back to back. Right. If I see you're gonna
have Jalen Ramsey on DeAndre Hopkins, so I think this might be another week where we see some of the other Cardinals pop off. AJ Green. Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't expect a huge game from Hopkins for the second week in a row, and he's kind of banged up still.
You know what? So, I'm gonna rip you off. I'm gonna do myself a lock. I think that Christian Kirk will be our best receiver this upcoming week.
Can I tell you a crazy stat?
Go for it.
AJ Green per reception, 18.1 yards. A reception is what he averages. DeAndre Hopkins, 12.2, I believe.
So it happens when you're not the number 1 option, though. You don't get the best cornerback on you.
True. Yeah, no, that's facts. It's just that's so crazy, like washed AJ Green is what they were calling him.
I'd say in terms of pure depth in our receiver room, I'd say we're at least top 5.
Oh
yeah.
Come on, we're higher than that.
I mean, who's got a better top 4?
I mean, Tampa, maybe. I mean,
Tampa's up there, but I don't know.
I mean, having Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, and Mike Evans. I mean, that's better than our entire.
Someone talks about Mike Evans one more time. Oh my gosh, that guy is so overrated. Like, I'm not saying he's bad, but like, come on, you want to talk about someone that's wildly inconsistent? Like, that dude. First of all, I don't think he's ever caught more than 2 passes going up against Marshawn Lattimore, who he plays twice a year. So, I mean, you're talking about the guy who is the definition of someone who has good stats against crappy teams. That's the only time he plays well is against crappy teams. So, I don't know. I'm not the biggest Mike Evans fan. Just saying.
Tell us how you really feel.
Hey, I'm going to give it to you straight. That's how I am.
Hey, we appreciate that, though. No, that's what we like to do on here.
Yeah, it's better to tell someone how you feel than hide it from them because they're going to find out eventually.
So Mike Evans will find this out eventually that you think he sucks?
Mike Evans has been in my DM. I'm just kidding, bro. It's not happening.
No, I've got a question here from my boy Average Joe on Twitter. Are the Cardinals better without Fitzgerald and Peterson? What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's. I mean, some some people who are still holding on to memories might say, well, say this is controversial, but I think that Larry Fitzgerald, having him on our team last year, held back our receiver.
Oh boy!
Okay, well,
Make sure I bring the friggin' baby powder when I see you against the Texans. Come on.
I'm just being real here. Like having that reception every game, that's fine when we're not trying to win. But I mean, if we are seriously, if we are dead set on contending, having any weak links in our receiver room, that can't happen.
My whole thing is that Christian Kirk should have never been outside to begin with, and Fitz should have still been outside. Because if you interchange Fitz and AJ Green, they're both pretty similar. But AJ Green isn't beating anyone over the top. The catches that you referenced, 18-yard to catch, a lot of them are kind of in traffic. That one had a big second half for us this week. The one against the Jags in the third quarter, I believe, where Kyler kind of flipped it up. Yeah, where he's in traffic. That's like a prototypical Fitz catch too. You know what I mean? He jumps over.
Yeah,
the
he's
DB.
a big body receiver.
So I'm not a coach or anything like that, but I would have loved to see, how would have it looked if Christian Kirk's role and Larry Fitzgerald's role were flipped the last couple of years. That's something we'll never know. But I mean, Christian Kirk is flourishing in the slot. Even me, who coming into this season, who's talked about his big drops last season, he shut me the hell up. So I'm glad to be talking this way, but I would have liked to see what their production would have been if roles were flipped.
We're talking about this receiver room and it's all its depth. I mean, if Larry Fitzgerald made the team, we'd be paying him to be our fifth string wide receiver. I mean, I love him to death. He's given the organization all he's got. But I mean, there comes a time where it's like, you deserve better. We kind of deserve better. I mean, so why keep going?
It's like a divorce.
It's a good terms divorce. I mean,
Who gets custody of the kids?
The kids are all grown.
It's Patrick Peterson. Oh no!
But Patrick Peterson, can we all agree that our cornerback room looks
a lot better
than? Oh yeah, 100%.
Nothing else. It's more physical. Can we all agree on that? It's even Marco
Wilson. People can make
tackles. Marco Wilson and Robert Alford are dropping shoulders on people. Over here, seeing Pro Football Reference has Patrick Peterson giving up 8 catches on 10 targets this year, 80%. Marco Wilson's at 64.3, Robert Alford's at 58.8, and Byron's at 52.9%. And all of our guys have at least a pass breakup. Patrick Peterson has no pass breakups, no INTs. So from what Minnesota's paying him for what we're paying Alfred and Marco, you gotta be impressed by the way that the DBs have shown up to start the season. We're giving up 187 yards through the air. The Rams are giving up 281 yards through the air. So I do think that is something that we can take advantage of their secondary. Behind Ramsey, they're not very impressive between their safeties and cornerback. They're physical front seven, but I think we can't take advantage over the top on them.
Yeah. Yes. I fully agree. I mean, if we had kept Patrick Peterson, that Rams game would have been over within the first 5. Sorry, not that the Vikings game would have been over in the first 5 minutes. Thielen would have had 3 touchdowns on us in the first quarter.
Was it not over in the first 5 minutes?
It looked like it, but it would have felt worse.
Let me tell you something, bro. I sat down, watched the player introductions, and went, you know what? I need a Coke. Walked downstairs, went to the concession stand, and the second I come up to take my order, because they have TVs there. I don't know if you've ever been in the stadium, but they have TVs right behind the people who take your order. So you can watch the game that's happening behind you right there. And all I see is Kirk Cousins take the pass and throw the ball, and boom, touchdown. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like, I contemplated walking out of the stadium in that very moment.
Well, good thing you didn't. You're
now you're a viral.
Yeah. You wouldn't be here right now.
Now you can never leave.
It was so funny. My friend So it's my friend and his friends, and you know what? I have a really funny story. Can I take 2 minutes to tell a really funny story as to how I even got
Absolutely.
here?
Take all the time you want.
Okay, all right, here we go. My friend Brandon, he's been my best friend for 10 years, okay?
Brandon.
Yeah.
Shout out, Brandon.
He doesn't, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that stuff. I am a purebred killer, all right? Uh, but my friend Brandon partakes in the marijuana, okay? And you know, he's responsible about it. I'm gonna be honest. He's probably the most responsible pot smoker I've ever met. And so, you know, we're sitting there one day. Like I said, I've known him 10 years. I know, like, he's my best friend. I know him, you know? And we're sitting there. It's me and my wife one day, and we're driving. And she looks at me. She goes, I was watching this movie about how this lady went from smoking weed to doing all these other drugs. And I really think marijuana is a gateway drug and leads to cocaine and whatnot. And I was just like, Abby, it's not a gateway drug. I mean, it's about the person, not necessarily marijuana. If you're gonna sit there and smoke weed and go, you know what, I want to snort coke, that's your problem. That the weed didn't make you do it. Like,
Right.
I mean, so I'm just like, I'm telling her, take for example, Brandon. He's been smoking weed for however long, like as long as I've known him, and you don't see him out here snorting cocaine. And you know, I'm telling her this, and about a day or two goes by, and Brandon calls me on the phone. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Bro, you're never gonna guess what happened last night.
Oh no!
I don't know where this story's going, but Cardinals are gonna win by 3, baby. Let's do it.
He goes, bro, you're never gonna guess. And at this point, he has a girlfriend. This is the first relationship I've ever seen him truly in, like invested, possibly. You know, like for the rest of his life, possibly.
Right.
They're broken up now, but
that's how they go more often than not.
He's like, bro, I was at this party and me and Riley were just sitting there, and you know, we're sitting there out of nowhere. Riley and there's some other guy was like, hey, you want to snort some coke? And him and his friend Riley look at each other and go, yeah, seems like a good idea. So they snort some coke. And they're sitting there high. And Riley looks at him and goes, dude, season tickets are on sale right now. We should buy them. And so he buys tickets, season tickets, which are thousands of dollars per person. Buys season tickets for him and his girlfriend. All of his best friends and him buy season tickets while they're snorted up on cocaine. And he tells me, he goes, I snorted some cocaine and bought season tickets last night.
Oh no!
I was like, what? I was like,
irony
Brandon.
is that cocaine gets you horny.
Yep.
My man Brandon, is that his name, Brandon?
Brandon, yep.
Brandon's horny for the cards, so hey, shout out Brandon.
Yeah, no, this guy. Oh gosh. And I'm like, dude, I just went to bat for you like a day ago, saying that you've never done this, and the first time you do it, you buy season tickets to the Cardinals, and it happens the day after I said it's never happened? Like, oh man. Great story. But yeah, they broke up, now I get to go to the games, but
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah. I specifically reserved the Vikings and Houston game, so.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, folks.
Yep.
Yep.
This is not an endorsement of cocaine.
Yeah, no.
Don't do drugs, kids.
And now to our ad from Pablo Escobar.
Cocaine, and there won't be a lot of Vikings fans at the game like there was. You know, more people need to do cocaine, and then, you know, we'll be fine. You know, no, because how loud was it there for somebody who attended? How loud was it there for Vikings? Like through the TV, it sounded. I was surprised how many Vikings fans sounded like there was
Rondale. Specifically the Vikings, or are we just talking about the?
Yeah, like game? Did it seem like a lot of Vikings fans there?
Oh my gosh, dude, you're walking in the stadium, and all of those ding dongs have their freaking Vikings hats on and their stupid little gold paint. Yeah, they look like Wendy if she dyed her hair purple. Like, it's like
or skull chant, whatever that means.
Yeah, it's like, and you're just in the whole time. If one of them spots you, they just skull, and they start their stupid little chant, and you're just like, oh, come on, I'm just trying to get some soda. Come on, like, I'm just trying to get to my seat, man. Watch out, like, those guys. And dude, I kid you not, I think the score was 20-7 in that game, if I'm not mistaken. At one point.
At halftime, right?
No, we were up at the half. We were up 21 to 20.
Quarter or something.
End of the first. It was 20-7. I think it went to commercial break, and a skull chant broke out over the entire stadium. I kid you not. When that chant broke out, I looked down at the sideline. All you saw was JJ shaking his head like he knew what's about to go down. Buddha was doing that weird little flip he does. Like, and they came out with a vengeance.
Nice.
And it
That's
was
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah.
So they set themselves up at that point. Like,
they asked for it.
They literally asked for it. You can't do that when you know JJ Watt is on the other sideline. You can't taunt him. He will make you pay. That's what he did.
It's like taunting. It's like taunting prime Michael Jordan. You just can't.
Or
do it.
Brady. Or
Exactly.
Brady. Or Rodgers. The 49ers were taunting Rodgers at the end of the game, and look what happened. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's never such thing. There's no such thing as too little time with any of those people. Anyway, we need to get back on track. We've lost we've lost the plot.
Was there ever a plot?
No.
Well, yeah, no, not this week. Bobby,
Will scrambling. You can hear Will scrambling.
Early on in the game, you had that punt where Rondale muffed the ball, and upon replay, the only reason he muffed it is because a ref threw a flag directly at the ball. What do you guys think of that? Should that play have even happened, or?
I'll tell you what I think of it.
Dead ball.
What I think of it is that man should have been our quarterback in 2014 instead of Ryan Lindley. Okay, with that type of accuracy.
Right?
Seriously, why wasn't he suiting up for us against the Panthers in 2014? That man has a bright future.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how that happens. Like
when Randy Johnson nailed the pitch.
Why is the ref throwing the flag over the punt return in the first place? Just throw that shit off to the side. Like, I don't know. And for him to the ref acted like nothing happened. No, play ball. Live ball. Like that was kind of
bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't entirely get why they have to. He just overhanded it. He was throwing that thing like it had insulted his mother. I mean, it's
Bobby Boucher. Mama said Rondale can't catch this ball.
I know the fact that that the end result was what it was kind of is against what I'm about to say, but I mean the refs seem to have it out for us on some of the plays that game. I mean, throwing the flag directly at the ball. I mean, the holds. I mean, there were a couple face masks here and there. I mean, it felt like it was a Jacksonville ref crew.
I will say that the Cardinals are now currently top 7 in both penalties against, like least amount of penalties against and least amount of penalty yards. So that's from how the season started in Tennessee. That is something that has righted the ship, which is good to see because that first couple of years under Cliff, we were down at the very bottom. So hopefully, I kind of put that towards veteran leadership. You bring in Rodney Hudson up front. How many penalties did Mason Cole have last year?
Oh, come on.
One too many. Enough for me to challenge him to a fist fight at Chili's parking lot.
Hey, come on. Yeah. You can't compare the bag of Skittles to Rodney Hudson. Like, come on.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're talking about the difference in penalties, that's definitely one reason. Adding JJ Watt too, you're bringing veteran presence who puts people in good positions. So I think that does have something to do with it, bringing in the veteran leadership this year. especially up front with Rodney Hudson. I don't think he's had a penalty yet, unless I've been mistaken. Maybe a false start in Tennessee.
Yeah, he had. No, it was Minnesota. I
Is it
remember I
Minnesota?
looked at my friend and I said that was his first false start in 3 years.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
It would
Hey,
happen
one
with
false
us.
start every 3 years, sign me up.
Oh,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
As long as it's not during the Super Bowl.
No, and as long as he's not getting friggin' bulldozed over like Mason Cole was getting regularly last year, being pushed back 5 yards of play.
You know what? Unpopular opinion.
Go for it.
I did not hate Mason Cole.
I thought he did good as a rookie. I thought he regressed though, which is a good sign.
I was entirely ambivalent on Mason Cole.
I think he, you know what? He gave effort more so than you can say for previous Cardinal offensive linemen. So, was he the best? No, but he tried, and that counts for something.
Since we're on offensive line, can I give a shout out to Josh Jones? First time playing right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Played 100% of the snaps, I believe.
And then a stat. Shout out to him. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, go on. What were you gonna say?
Shout out to him as a former offensive lineman. The fact that dude has played 4 different positions in the span of 1 freaking year.
It's crazy.
I mean, left tackle, left guard, right tackle. I mean, like, come on, like, and he didn't suck at any of them. Like,
I mean, he could at this rate, he could be a legitimate option to replace DJ Humphries at the end of his contract in a couple of years at left tackle. I mean, he was one of the best in college, and he's showing that he's not getting bullied by anyone. I saw him pancake a dude rewatching the game against the Jags. I didn't see it initially. Straight up pancaked a dude. Opened up about an extra 5-7 yard gain to the outside. So, I mean, he's been valuable, and I can't remember what site has him, but he's tied with ESPN, I believe. He's tied with Quentin Nelson as the best pass rush block grade as a guard, any guard, for the first 2 weeks entering this last third week. So no matter where he's at, he's an asset, no doubt about it.
Are you not a Humphreys fan?
Oh, I am. I'm just saying that I think that if need be, he could replace him. Yeah.
If need be.
I don't think Humphreys has been as good this year as he was last year. That's just from my personal opinion. He's gotten beat a little bit more often. But
personal opinion?
We're having hella hot takes tonight.
Oh, hell yeah, baby. This is how
what?
we do it.
I mean, DJ, rewatch the game. Tell me, DJ, I point to you about 3 times every game where DJ Humphreys is getting twisted and turned where he didn't last year. I mean, there's no knock on him.
Is the second best left tackle in the league, only behind David Bakhtiari. Okay, he's better than Tunzel. Okay, that fat guy can't get himself out of McDonald's. He's better than Luan, Mr. Give up 4 sacks in a game. No, he gave up 3. He gave up 3. And I mean, besides that, who else are you gonna say is better than DJ? DJ is a freaking tank, brother. Like,
yeah.
DJ is right now never mind. We drafted Dan Dierdorf. Dang it. Besides Dan Dierdorf, the best offensive lineman we have ever drafted, besides Dan Dierdorf.
But what about Jonathan Cooper?
That dude looked so good coming out, and then he broke his leg, and then he sucked.
And then
he did look so good in that first fucking preseason
he was
game.
He was more valuable to us when we traded him than when we was.
Oh, you get Chandler Jones? Yeah,
absolutely.
I got a hot take.
Yeah.
I have always been a Chandler Jones fan. Okay, I have always loved Chandler Jones. I've always loved Johnny Bones Jones. That is my favorite wrestler ever. I loved Arthur Jones.
Where this is going.
Okay, hear me out.
John
all right?
Jones, that's all I'll say.
I thought at first, my initial reaction as a 16-year-old boy, when I heard we traded for him, I thought we overpaid. I thought it was a mistake to send Jonathan Cooper.
You're an adult now.
You were 16?
16, yeah. Yeah,
Holy shit,
I think
I'm old.
so. Yeah, dude. I mean, you're not yeah to you're old. Yeah to I was like 16, something like that. But no, I was sitting there. I was like, we sent Coop in a second. I'm like, seems like a reach. I probably would have done it for a third. That's what I was thinking back then. And then I saw him step on the field, and I was like, no, we stole this guy. We stole him.
How would you guys like to get into predictions for the week?
Oh gosh.
Last week Will won.
Woohoo! All it took was my dignity. Worth it.
Yeah, who'd you pick? You picked. You're the only one who picked the Rams,
he
right?
picked the Rams to win. It's like
and I was right.
The Rams.
And my rationale for that one was right. Tom Brady always has a September game where he's cheeks, and that's what happened.
I know. I was watching that game.
41 of 55 passes for 450 yards. That game was not on Tom Brady.
Their defense kind of sucks.
Yeah, the Rams D is questionable in the back end for sure.
The good news is that every single one of those teams that I can think of that beat Tom Brady in September later turned out to be cheeks. Unfortunately, that was us in 2012. But yeah, so let's get into the slate. Thursday night football. Oh boy, this is dreadful. Jaguars, Bengals. Who y'all got?
Cincy.
Bengals.
They're a better team. The Bengals 2-1. Jaguars lost to the freaking Texans. Yeah.
I think this is the game.
I think Jordan's got an upset on mind right now.
Oh boy.
I think this is the game where Jacksonville comes out finally. Honestly, because you got to think about it. Urban Meyer, Ohio, Cincinnati. Even though people in Ohio don't even like to go to Cincinnati, okay? But it's still Ohio. Okay?
Sister lives on the outskirts of Cincinnati, and that is correct.
Let me put it in perspective for you, okay? I mean, have you guys been to California?
Regretfully, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In California, San Diego is like where all the little college kids and people and vacationers go, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in California." I'm like, no, you're not. You're where travelers go. Like, you're not really getting the experience. Yeah. You're getting tourists. There you go. That's the word. You're in the tourist destination. That's where they want the tourists at. You're not getting the real vibe. You know. Right. You want the real vibe, you got to go to Ventura, you know? You got to get in the streets. You got to go to, these downtown, the Lunchbox, the best Asian restaurant ever. Like, so to put in perspective for you, all right, Cleveland is like LA and Cincinnati is like San Diego. Like, people in Ohio don't like Cincinnati. Like, that's no one like we drove by a couple years ago and like literally, you could see Cincinnati on the highway to your right, and I'm just like, nope.
It's ghetto. My sister lives there. You got farmland, and then like place you do not want to be driving through at night.
Seriously, Cincinnati sucks. So when my point in that is, Urban Meyer, Mr. Ohio, if you will, he's gonna sit there and go, I need to prove I am still Mr. Ohio. If I lose to the freaking Cincinnati Bengals, I think this is it. I think this is the game.
I think it's Bengals. I think it's you versus the world on that one.
Hey, I'll take it.
It could happen. Bengals aren't that good to where they should just beat anybody.
Oh yeah, but they're gonna beat.
They have a lot of.
They're gonna beat the Jags.
They're a little bit better than.
All right.
For.
To open up our Sunday slate, we got Titans Jets. Who y'all got?
Not the Jets.
Titans.
We're all good on that. Even discuss.
So we're all in agreement on that one. After that, we got Lions Bears. All we're missing is the Tigers. Who y'all got?
Lions.
God.
It's going to be an ugly game.
Tie? No.
You know what? I'm going to pick the team that didn't have one passing yard the entire game. Go Lions.
Yep.
I'm.
Who'd you go with, Jackie?
Lions.
Yeah.
I'm going Chicago just because the Lions will find a way to lose.
Nah, I'm going with the Lions. I think the Lions are about to hit a hot streak.
Okay, let's do it.
Well,
Unpopular.
Versus the world.
Hey,
All right.
I'm going for it.
After that, you got Colts Dolphins. Who y'all got?
Kobe Brissett versus Carson Wentz. Is he healthy now, or is he hurt again?
I think he's still hurt.
Played last week. Colts. I'm going Colts too. They got the better. Oh yeah.
Quentin Nelson's out, right?
Oh sheesh.
Did you guys see that comment where someone said I look like Quentin Nelson?
No,
but I could see it.
How do you feel about that?
It is on Instagram, and when I read that, I immediately started blushing. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "No way!" I do. I called Brandon. I was like, "Brandon!" They said I look like Quentin Nelson. Sorry,
did you pick Jackie?
I'm gonna say Colts.
Yeah, I think it's the Colts.
Have they won a game yet?
Is it again?
No.
Indy versus what?
Miami.
Indy versus Miami.
Oh.
It's not a great game.
I don't trust
the Colts
Miami.
haven't won.
Okay. Yeah. Damn, we're all going Indy. All right.
So after that, you got Browns Vikings. That should be an interesting one. Who you got?
The Browns.
You gonna make me say it?
I'm going Minnesota. I like the offensive weapons better. Even better than Chubb.
Dog pound, baby.
We got Cleveland. Jackie going Cleveland too. Bo Bobbles going Cleveland.
You gotta say Minnesota. I mean, they looked pretty damn good against Seattle last week. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe Seattle just sucks.
That's a solid game.
Seattle's had 2 weeks in a row where they faced the team we had played the weeks prior, and they didn't look good against either of them, really.
You know what? Where's that game being played?
It's being played in Minnesota.
Home crowd advantage. I'm still going Cleveland. I'm sorry.
After that, you got Washington versus Atlanta. This is an awful one. Who y'all got?
I'm going ATL, go back to back. I don't know why, but I am.
Wouldn't trust Taylor Heineke, but I mean, on the same token, the Falcons have looked awful. So I mean, it's a coin flip, really.
They beat your Giants. I saw you started Daniel Jones over Lamar Jackson. Please tell me you did not do that
this week. Wait, actually, I did.
Last week?
Wait, no, I did do it this week.
How much did you lose by?
All right. So okay, I'm gonna read you my fantasy roster. Feel free to shake your head. Give me 2 seconds. This is who I started last week. This is dreadful. All right. So I started Danny Dimes at quarterback. I started Derrick Henry at running back. Chase Edmonds as my other running back. Had D-Hop, A.J. Brown as my wide receivers. I had Noah Fant as my tight end. Rondale as my flex. Robbie Gould as my kicker. And the Panthers D as my defense. On my bench, I had Lamar Jackson, James Robinson, Chase Claypool, and Marvin Jones.
When can I join a fantasy league with you for money?
I scored 73 points. I lost by 61.
Goodness gracious.
It's not my year.
That's our driver of our podcast.
Gosh, I'm losing brain cells right now.
I drafted 7th. There's no way I could do better.
Why would you sit Lamar Jackson?
Did you draft with your eyes closed?
I started Daniel Jones because Atlanta's defense is cheeks, and I thought he would.
They're losing viewers. Let's move on.
Anyways, I'm gonna go with Atlanta because no one asked.
I'm gonna say Atlanta too.
I'm going with the Rosen revenge game.
You think Matt Ryan's gonna get hurt and they're gonna put Rosen in?
I think Atlanta's gonna finally come to their senses and put Ryan on the bench at some point this season.
You think that's his Tom Brady moment? You know, Ryan goes down after
sooner or later, I do think that he will get that opportunity the second half of the season.
You know what? I'm sorry. I used to stick up for Ryan. But you know what? He's
falling
done.
off.
He's done.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
Phillip Rivers.
I agree.
Phillip Rivers, for the most part, wasn't glorious. All right, but he was still good.
Hey,
but
good
he was
in Indy last year, even when I thought his arm was off. You're right.
Well,
I agree with
that's
you.
my point. That's my point. In his career, halfway through, you're like, oh, he's past his prime. He's done. He doesn't look good. Blah blah blah. You know what? He took that and he said, "Forget you guys. Watch me do what I do." And he went better in the second half of his career. Matt Ryan is at that point a couple of years ago, and he was like, you know what? I'm making like $35-40 million a year. I'm chilling. Like, I think I'm good. I'm rich. So
he doesn't have the arm strength is something that has dropped off significantly from what I can tell, visually at least.
I just think that Super Bowl it blurred his vision, and I think he's too greedy at times, and he undersells himself when he needs to. When you know what I mean? Like, nah, man, he's done. He's done. I'm telling you.
I agree.
He'll be gone after this season.
Hey, so after that, you got Texans, Bills. Who y'all got?
The Bills.
Got to be Buffalo.
Texans.
Oh, somebody likes to lose. All right, next one.
Oh, wait. Bills. I'm sorry. I thought Tyrod was playing. I forgot. It's the Bills. I'm sorry. If Tyrod was playing, I would pick the Texans. Yeah, of course.
You heard the guy who started Daniel Jones over Lamar Jackson was talking shit. He's like, he switched that up real quick. No.
Dude, Tyrod Taylor is statistically the greatest quarterback of all time. Look it up. I believe in Tyrod.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Giant
Look
Saints. Who y'all got? Giant Saints.
New Orleans.
Gotta be Nola.
Yeah, let's go Saints.
Yeah, Saints. Jameis throws for 500.
We all pick New Orleans.
After that, you got Chiefs, Eagles. The Eagles are coming off a blowout loss. Gotta be Chiefs.
Eagles ran the ball 3 times with their running backs Monday night. That's freaking pathetic.
You have their running back in fantasy?
Oh, fucking Miles Sanders, you son of a gun.
And you were going with the Danny Dimes. Wow.
I'm going with the Hamburglar, Andy Reid. Okay, I'm going with the Chiefs, baby.
Sir.
All right.
Who'd you get, Jackie? KC? Everyone get KC?
Yeah, we're all in agreement.
Okay.
After that, you got Panthers, Cowboys. Who y'all got?
Panthers.
Pains me to do it, but I'm picking Dallas.
How about them boys?
Big Cowboys fans.
Okay.
I know you guys.
How about them boys?
I'm going with the Cowboys.
I don't trust that Panthers defense.
I'm gonna win pick'ems, and it's because of the Panthers.
I hope you do.
I don't trust that Panthers D for a second. They're about to fall off. Anyway, to open up this 4 o'clock hour, you've got what I presume is going to be the NFL game of the week. You got Seahawks, 49ers. Who y'all got?
Damn, that's a hell of a
Seattle.
game.
Seattle.
I'm gonna go with San Fran because I think their defense is better.
I'm not convinced.
A lot better.
I'm not convinced by either team. Seattle's doing bad against our sloppy seconds. 49ers are looking rough against the Eagles. I mean, that's Seattle by default, I guess.
Seattle.
Okay. Okay, you little sea chicken fans, I see you.
Okay.
I respect greatness, and greatness is Russell Wilson.
Game recognizes game.
There you go.
All right. After that, you got Steelers, Packers. Who do y'all?
Green Bay. I don't know how you can trust the friggin' Steelers right now.
Yeah, Big Ben should have retired 3 years ago.
Yeah, you guys see that play?
Big Ben should have retired last week.
Where's it being played?
It's being played at Lambeau.
Lambeau.
Anyways, I got the Packers.
Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they could have gotten anybody better in this draft because this quarterback class looks awful so far. But I mean, the Steelers need to draft somebody. This shit's awful. After that, you got Ravens
We all
Broncos.
hold on. We're all going Green Bay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, no question. After that, you got Ravens Broncos. Who y'all got?
Ravens.
Broncos.
Yeah. Baltimore.
You know what? I'm gonna say Denver. I think that
You believe in Denver's hype?
Yeah.
I think they'll hold on to it for just another minute.
I think Teddy B is back, baby.
Teddy B never left.
Easiest guy in
Teddy B was a thing?
Don't act like you weren't begging for Teddy Bridgewater over Sam Bradford, okay?
Oh yeah, 100%. Sunday night, nobody will be waiting all day for this one. Awful game. Bucks Pats. Who y'all got?
Brady going back into New England. I'm going to go Tampa.
The worst people you know are hyped up for this game.
I'm going to go Tampa. Rookie quarterbacks are 1-10 so far this year. So
yeah, Mac
being top Brady.
Mac Jones ain't anything, man. I wouldn't trust him at all.
I hate debating, early in the year with rookies. Get a short stick like Josh Rosen, like on a shitty team. There's a reason why you're drafted top 10. Not going to save the franchise in 1 year. Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions his rookie year. So I hate rocking guys, but you got to go Brady over Mac Jones for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't think there's ever been a worse time for anybody to be a rookie quarterback aside from when, people were dying in the NFL.
So we're all going Tampa?
No, I'm going Patriots.
Oh,
I think Bill Belichick is going to pull some mind game shit. He knows Tom Brady. He knows his weaknesses.
You spent 20 years in bed with an old man. He learned your tricks.
Yeah, he knows all your moves.
No way.
Who you going with?
New England.
Jordan. Oh, look at you guys. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Real recognizes real.
Bucks
some balls on you
Bucks
too.
are gonna blow them out. It's gonna be a 50-point win. It's gonna.
As an old saying goes, what's understood don't need to be explained.
Monday Night Football.
Preach.
This is a better game than Sunday. Raiders Chargers. Who y'all got?
Ooh,
Raiders.
We're going Raiders too. Raiders.
Chargers.
I think that the Chargers are going to come in, and I think they're going to end the Raiders' win streak. I think the Chargers win it.
I'm just saying, man. All right, look. We play the Raiders next year. We just got done joking about Hangover 4. I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind, going to the game. Cardinals.
Let's roll, man. I'll meet you there. I'm down. I'd love to go check out that new stadium in Vegas.
I'm just saying, man. I need to go. I need to be there. And so, yeah, let me get on the team jet with Michael Bidwell, and we'll keep Marcus Golden strapped to the chair.
All right.
Who you picking? You guys all picked the Chargers. Damn.
I picked the Raiders.
You picked the Raiders?
Yeah, he picked the Raiders.
You picked the Raiders, Jackie?
No, I picked the Chargers.
Okay, sorry.
Gotta be the Chargers. And finally,
no.
At 4:05 Eastern, 1:05 Phoenix time, your Arizona Cardinals versus the soy latte drinking, the Hollywood, the some third thing to indict them as being pathetic, Los Angeles Rams. Who y'all got?
Cards in a close one, 27-24.
You want me to say
my score? Yep, after you.
I think that Kyler Murray steps up and punches Aaron Donald in the face. Okay?
Right in the nose.
I think this is the game where Kyler and D-Hop and JJ set the freaking bar. Let me tell you something. We played 3 games, scored 30-plus in all 3. We haven't reached our full potential yet. And who better to reach our potential against than Matty Stafford throw picks in the Stanford? All right? Just saying. We're going to go out there and we're going to break them. All right? Cardinals.
What's your score?
Okay, after I just said all that, I do think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a 1-point game. I think we're gonna win. I don't know the score though.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Mac Attack. Who you got?
So I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Robert Orozco from Twitter, who I'm picking the Cardinals.
What's up, Robert?
I know we want to kind of dissect this game a little bit right here, and he asked, "Will the defense be able to make Matthew Stafford uncomfortable in the pocket, and can our D line get more sacks?" Since week one, the only defensive lineman that we've had that has had a sack is Michael Dogby. And the thing with the Cardinals D line is really nobody's playing more than like 25% of the snaps. Even Corey Peters, even though he's like one of the best run stoppers, graded out wise, I believe by ESPN metrics to start the season. He's still only getting like 30%, maybe getting in game shape. But I would honestly like to see Zach Allen be able to get some pressures this game, because right now it's, to be honest, it's really going to be Marcus Golden, AJ Watt, Chandler Jones getting all of our pressures. That's basically what it is. So I would expect more of JJ and Chandler lining up on similar sides. So JJ can kind of do that dirty work. I know I posted a video yesterday. JJ basically eating up the left tackle, the left guard and the left tackle, and freeing up Chandler Jones on what was a near interception. He hit Trevor Lawrence like as he was releasing, ball fluttered. So I honestly would expect a lot more of that, because we do need to get more pressure. That's something that's not, it's fairly obvious that besides those guys, we're not getting too much pressure. So that's something that I would like to see happen, and I think that is going to happen. Matthew Stafford gets the ball out quick. They have a lot of good receivers. We got talked about Cooper Kupp. Robert Woods really hasn't been that involved. I think we have the DBs to make it happen. Like we said, we're giving up 187 yards a game through the air. So some's going to give. I think we're going to get a couple. We're going to get 2 INTs from Matthew Stafford. I don't know if it's going to be a tip ball, whatever here and there, but we're going Cardinals 30-27.
Okay.
For him.
Hey, you want to hear something surprising?
You're picking the Cards too?
Cards win, baby.
Oh shit!
I think it's going to be a really, really close game, and I think the biggest weakness the Cardinals have is stopping the run and tackling. I mean, and half of that's not even an issue, because the Rams' run game this year ain't anything. So I mean, I think that it all comes down to execution. If we are in the lead by halftime, I think it's a no-brainer. This is a ramble. We were a missed field goal away from not having gone into a halftime without the lead. We have dominated so far. I think that if we can go into the halftime with the lead, we are set. I think that it is going to be a very low-scoring affair. I think this is going to be very different from the games that we've seen this year. I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I'm going to say 21-18 is our final score.
Oh,
nice.
I
don't think their defense is going to give us an inch, and I think that our defense is going to be eager to prove themselves after a slow start last week, and I think it's going to be tooth and nail. It's going to be crazy. The Cardinals have a very clear path to victory here. It all comes down to execution.
All right.
It feels good to not play the heel for once. That's nice. I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on with us. We had a good time. I hope you had a good time as well.
Dude, that was awesome. I appreciated it. I will be back as often as you guys want me. So just shoot me a message or whatever, and I'll be back. So
let's try to get together for the Texans game.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Like I said, shoot me a message anytime you guys want me on. If you guys want to meet up for the Texans game, I would love that. Like I said, I'm always there like an hour or two before the game. So, anyone that's watching this, continue to watch it. It's a good show. And we had a great time, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys at the Texans game to scream and lose our voices and hopefully do another viral interview together after the game.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I gotta get me a mask. I don't want my face on TV. Yeah, man. I mean, loved having you on. Is there anything else you guys want to add before we call it an episode?
I do.
Go for it.
JJ Watt, you own my heart. Seriously, we could be best friends. They'll probably make a Hangover 4, and it'll be me, you, and Chan, and we're trying to find Marcus Golden somewhere in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
This has been the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing.
My name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at jsandiego with 2 O's.
I'm Mac. You can find me at AZ Sports Fiend.
And I am Jordan. You can find me at McManus642 on Twitter, King_McManus on Instagram and TikTok.
This has been the Redbird Redzone podcast, a Max Hall production, and we are out.
Peace.
Bye.
And them.